And welcome to Nerd and Tie, the only podcast on the internet with a dress code. I am one of your hosts, Firsters. Along with me, coming to you live from nerdatoriums across the Midwest, we've got stuck somewhere that he can't get out of, Trey Dorn.
Hi, everybody.
And coming to you live from a deep, dark pit in the middle of hell, which is a nice place to visit, but you'd never want to live there, Nick Izumi.
Accurate description of Janesville, Wisconsin.
Anyway, how you doing, gentlemen? Has it been a good couple weeks?
No.
Honestly, no. Yeah, it's been awful.
Oh.
Well, I've had
holiday shopping's not fun.
I pretty much got most of mine done, so
I bought nothing for either of you.
I didn't buy anything for you either. I have my couple of things done, and I can't say what it is. The things that I have done because one of our listeners live, is probably like, oh, he's gonna say what he got me. No, I'm not telling. You can quit asking.
Like that.
I'll find out.
No. It's good to be back with you guys. Of course, next week is Christmas. And then we've got New Year's, so we're going to be doing our holiday.
Week and a half. Don't freak me out.
That we're going to probably do our holiday, our New Year's special here at the end, but that'll be on the 28th. But
yeah,
until then,
our year in review, best of 2014.
Oh, baby!
But until then, we've got a lot of stuff going on.
This is a big fortnight.
2 weeks, yeah.
It is. We got a lot to cover. So why don't we get started on this? Of course, let's kind of dip into some casting news right away, because one of the things I think we should really make this a general segment on the show, because we always have casting news just about every single fortnight, it seems. But the big casting news recently actually comes from DC, and we're not even going to approach DC in the Carnival of Sadness way this time. Because, oh my God, we have a Suicide
actual
Squad
evidence
cast.
they're doing something. Oh, sorry.
Yeah, we have a cast for Suicide Squad, and it's pretty damn good looking. I mean, the following...
Mostly
good looking. I mean, we've got Will Smith as Deadshot, Tom Hardy as Rick Flag, Margot Robbie as Harley Quinn, Jay Courtney as Boomerang, and
you're going to have to...
Yes?
Sorry. We had a weird audio glitch there.
Okay.
If you can just hold on 1 second there, Fur.
Okay, Trey. Whatever you say, friend.
All right, we're back.
All right. Apparently we had a weird audio glitch there, but then Cara Delevingne, however that's pronounced, is going to be Enchantress. But of course, the big casting news is that Jared Leto is going to be the Joker in the Suicide Squad movie.
Because the Joker is such a pivotal member of the Suicide Squad. Oh, wait, no, he's not.
Hold on, Nick. Here's the theory is that the Joker is going to be the villain of this movie.
Well, yeah, which is exactly what they did with the animated Suicide Squad movie that came out earlier this year. Which,
well, I think there's an argument that you need to have the Joker at some level if you're going to use this film to introduce Harley Quinn.
That's true. That's true.
Well, and that greater DC universe that apparently DC Cinematics and Warner Brothers wants to do.
Yeah.
So I mean, you can't have a giant cinematic universe without the Joker. That'd be stupid.
Well, no, I'm agreeing with that. It's just it goes back to what I've said on the show before, which is the big appeal of the Suicide Squad in the comics is it's all these characters who you know as villains, and now you're supposed to cheer for them. Except, aside from Harley Quinn, no one's going to know any of these characters going in.
Well, hold on. I would argue that Deadshot has been pushed out into the spotlight in the past few years.
Bits and pieces.
Who Deadshot is.
I
do.
Exactly.
I do, but I know my wife doesn't.
I was about to say, Joe Moviegoer does not know who Deadshot is.
And my wife actually knows who superhero characters are. I mean, let's not... My wife is a nerd. But she's not a DC Comics nerd.
I'm not going to lie. I'm not sold on Will Smith as Deadshot. I like Will Smith a lot. Like, a lot. And I like Deadshot a lot. Like, a lot. But it's kind of like I also like Chinese food, and I like grilled cheese sandwiches. I don't want them combined.
What are you talking about? Crab rangoon with a grilled cheese sandwich? That would be delicious.
If we're done here, but man, I kind of want that now.
General Tso's chicken on the side with a grilled cheese sandwich.
Yeah, that doesn't sound. You know what I mean?
Delicious.
I just here's the thing.
Your
Will
metaphor
Smith,
is broken because your opinion is broken.
Will Smith is a fantastic actor. I love him, but the thing about Deadshot is that he is a character who kills people for money and feels no remorse about it.
So?
I just can't see him playing that.
Wasn't Deadshot in Secret Six for a while, or at least Gail Simone wrote him?
Yeah, he was in there. Yeah,
and he's a funny guy.
No, he's hilarious.
Right? Why can't Will Smith play that? Will Smith does drama fine.
No, Will Smith does drama fine. I'm so used to even when he's a like a darker character, I can't see him going as dark as what I would want for this character.
I believe that you just don't have faith in Will Smith's acting chops, and it's because you're racist.
Oh,
it has nothing to do with race.
Wow.
Honestly,
it's not because he's black. It's because he's from Philadelphia.
What?
And we know you hate people from Philadelphia.
That's true. I do hate people from Philadelphia. No, I don't. Like honestly, if anything, I'm happy. I mean, I am happy that they from that regard, though. If you're going to bring that up, like Deadshot has tended to be at least a darker skin toned character, so I'm glad they didn't go the Arrow route and just whitewash him. But I don't know. I'm having trouble seeing Will Smith as that kind of character, and I hope he proves me wrong.
There might be something wrong with Arrow. Well, they did that with Sin too. They made Sin white.
Raish is white.
That was my biggest problem. The Arrow finale mid-season finale this season was freaking amazing, wow. But it was really weird for me because it's like I'm supposed to believe this guy is Ra's al Ghul, and I'm just like, that guy's.
I didn't say I haven't been watching Arrow. Who's playing Ra's al Ghul?
A white guy.
He's this. I thought we did an article about it on the site. Yeah, he's this. He's a guy from New Zealand, I think.
Oh, that's right.
Like he was it was really weird because I'm hoping that if nothing else, maybe they can establish that he's like an ancient crusader or something, like just to explain why he. I don't know. There's a lot of things with how he was acting that made it really weird. But like he was wearing this really oriental looking costume. And I'm just like, why is that guy white? I'm having so much trouble taking him seriously because he's this white dude.
Ra's al Ghul is supposed to be Arabic.
Like, and that's the thing though. Like, I had the same problem with Batman Begins. Like,
both the fake and real Ra's al Ghul in that movie are the wrong race. It's two different wrong races.
Like it was really distracting. Although the Arrow finale was still really good, that part was just really weird, and I still don't understand. I don't know.
Against it.
Can we talk for a minute about Jared Leto as Joker though? I mean
I don't really know Jared Leto, so I.
Oh, you don't know Jared Leto?
No, I don't.
He just won an Oscar.
Yeah, I wanted to see that movie he was in. Like,
but he's been in lots of stuff. I mean, like, you go back, he was in Fight Club. He's also face in Fight Club.
Oh, I
crap beat out of him.
I'm excited to see his Joker for what it's worth. I mean,
he's really good.
He's also Mars.
Well, that's why he took a lot of time off acting for the band.
Yeah, and it's pretty. I love that. It's a great band. Like he's a great singer, and honestly, I think he's going to play the part of Joker pretty well.
Well, now it's almost
this one makes it to the movie premiere.
Oh, dark. It will be interesting introducing this version of the Joker not in the context of Batman. That's an interesting choice. Like,
yeah, no. Well, I mean, we're obviously. I think we're going to probably see some kind of Batman reference, obviously, in Suicide Squad. We're definitely going to. we're gonna get a Superman reference because I guess Jesse Eisenberg is rumored to be showing up in this movie, or Lex Luthor is going to be in this movie, in some fashion. So, but yeah,
I'm so curious who they're going to cast as Amanda Waller.
That's right. They haven't done that yet.
Yeah, she has not been cast, and she's pretty pivotal to what Suicide Squad is and does.
Yeah. But from what it sounds like, they're going for an old universe Amanda Waller look and not New 52. So I'm...
That's good.
Yeah, because they want Oprah, but...
Oh my God.
I'm not kidding.
They
want Oprah.
I've heard that, and I just have that image of, like, so we have all these supervillains in electric chairs, and just Oprah. Have her come in like,
get a second chance!
You get to be in the Suicide Squad. You get to be in the squad. Everybody's in the squad.
You get an explosive collar. You get an explosive collar.
Also,
look under your seats. It's a bomb.
I am also really excited though for Jay Courtney's Captain Boomerang.
Well, we don't know that he's a captain. It just says Boomerang.
Yeah,
right
that's
now.
true.
Yeah.
Still, I have so much more faith. Captain Boomerang is one of my favorite villains now. And after I did all that making fun of Arrow, to make it even, their version of Captain Boomerang was pretty damn cool, but he was noticeably not Australian. And I prefer my Captain Boomerang with a goofy accent.
It's gotta have. I mean, otherwise, like, why, like that? Why else is he Captain Boomerang? Like, what's the point if he's not Australian? Yeah, my name is Captain Boomerang. I'm from Omaha.
I think he had like an really Irish accent in Arrow, which was weird. It's like, oh, that doesn't sound right.
But yeah, there you have it. The Suicide Squad. At least the main group of anti-heroes are cast. So yeah, that's all we got for DC casting news.
Well, should we look over at what Marvel's got going on?
Yeah, why not? It seems like we got something new every 2 weeks.
So this time, I'm a little sad to say it. We have it confirmed. Benedict Cumberbatch is indeed the Sorcerer Supreme.
Why couldn't it have been Oded Fair? Come on.
I'm still cross with Star Trek for casting Benedict Cumberbatch, the only actor they would ever need to cast and not need to do any makeup work on him for us to believe he's an alien, and they didn't do it. Come on, guys. All right, that was mean. I don't know.
I think he was fine.
Like,
I advocate for Benedict Cumberbatch for Doctor Strange.
I think he's gonna do great,
but they sound like he's from Oklahoma or Nebraska. Can he sound like a guy raised in Nebraska?
They could have gone literally any other direction, but they went with he's not going to do bad. He's going to be just fine. Like I don't doubt that Benedict Cumberbatch is going to do great, but they could have easily gone anywhere else and maybe even done better.
I still think it feels like stunt casting. I think
Oded Fair would have been better, but I'm happy with Cumberbatch because I knew that they weren't going to. It's so hard to get Marvel to be brave enough to recast a white character with a black actor. It's just not going to happen. Or in Oded Fair's case, is a Semitic actor. But, frankly, Doctor Strange is, got his powers in Philadelphia. He was raised in Nebraska. That's my problem, is we're going to see Benedict Cumberbatch doing this with a British accent.
Or he's going to do like a really piss-poor American accent.
Every smart Marvel character becomes British for no good reason. Look at in the Fox X-Men franchise. Look at Patrick Stewart.
As soon as Marvel gets the rights back for Fantastic Four, just you wait. It's old David Tennant's going to get called in to be Mr. Fantastic.
Although
that's
he
just
can
how
do
it's
an American accent.
That's true. He's freaking fantastic on Grace Point. If you guys haven't taken a look at that.
Point. I mean, he's pretty much doing exactly what he did on Broadchurch, just with a different accent. But
it was even written by the same guy. But still, yeah. No, well.
But let's not talk about Cumberbatch. We've talked about Cumberbatch a lot.
We've got another hero cast though. Someone who I think we've all been pretty excited for. We finally know who is going to be playing Jessica Jones in the Netflix series, aka Jessica Jones. Yes, it's Kristen Ritter.
Yay! I love Kristen Ritter.
I hear she's great.
She's phenomenal in like everything. Don't Trust the Bee was like one of the most phenomenal. I was so sad that show got canceled. That was such a great show.
Oh, I agree completely. And also she was great in. She had a recurring character in Veronica Mars season 2, and she was in the Veronica Mars movie.
She was in Breaking Bad for a couple episodes, and she was great in Breaking Bad.
She also did an episode of Criminal Minds where she played a character with split personality. That was
really?
She was phenomenal.
How I missed that episode? I love Criminal Minds.
Yeah, it's on Netflix.
I know she is
because I don't watch the current season of that show. I watch it when it goes on Netflix.
I know that she's really good at like comedy and that sort of thing, and since Marvel is willing to make their characters, funny, I can't wait to see how they play that up too.
Well, that's why I think she's a really good choice, because she has a comedy background, but she also has a dramatic background, so she has like the full range to play a character like this, especially someone like Jessica Jones.
Plus, so she's ideal. Plus, she looks like she's going to be able to play somebody that's a badass. So,
yeah, I can see her doing this. I'm super excited for.
Yeah, no, it's a really good casting choice.
I'm just looking forward to that show, though. I mean, I know very little about Jessica Jones' character, but it just sounds like a really cool premise for a TV show. So
I've never read the books that she's been in, but I know about her from doing research on the general Marvel universe to make sure I know what's going on in the things I do pay attention to. Like Squirrel Girl.
I've been finding myself doing that a lot more recently with Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. because they're heading into territory I don't know anything about.
Because of the big reveal in the mid-season finale.
Yeah.
Yay.
That was pretty...
We got yelled at.
Yeah, we did.
Because even though like half the websites on the internet put the spoiler in the headline, our readers got mad because I did it. And, tough. I'm betting, here's the thing. It's like these readers are like complaining, but I bet they have no idea who the character was, who she was revealed to be.
I did.
I had to look her up.
I had no idea. I had one person who knew who it was, and that's because he's a hardcore, weird parts of Marvel that I don't care about reader. I mean, oops.
Yeah. But so, yeah, it was, got mad. I'm like, But that explains why Skye was not introduced with Melinda May and Fitzsimmons in the S.H.I.E.L.D. comic.
Indeed.
Because she was excited for already around.
I'm super excited.
And apparently that was their plan from the beginning.
Yeah, no,
that's cool.
That's the thing about the Marvel, at least with the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., is that they've got everything ready to go and it's all lined up and yeah.
Well, it's especially funny because some really good misleads on the Whedon and his inner circles part with, oh yeah, we don't really want superheroes in the show. We're not planning on... Then season 2, we get Mockingbird and insert who Skye really is here.
Well, like half the first season was about Deathlock.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what happened on first camera, but he just suddenly disappeared.
I'm here. I dropped something very important.
The audio listeners don't really care. They're going, why are they talking about a camera? But the video watchers, they're happy to know that he dropped a pen.
But lots of exciting casting news for the superhero cinematic and television universes out there.
Yes, very much so. Now
let's go on to a story that's dumb. And one that I love. So right around now is the time of the year. Of course, Golden Globes just got announced. The nominations got announced. It's about award time season. So you're going to see a lot of a lot of movies start being sent out in for your consideration packets, which is when a studio takes a movie that they think is worthy of consideration for a nomination for a big time award like, say, the Academy, and they submit it to the Academy of Motion Picture Arts and Sciences. And that's just something like, hey, if you want to maybe think of our movie as being a pinnacle of filmmaking, or directing, or acting, or anything at all, feel free to throw us a bone. Well, earlier in the week, somebody over at Paramount got rip-roaring drunk and put together a for your consideration packet for Transformers: Age of Extinction.
Of course.
Now, not mind you, this was they were probably going to do it anyway for all the technical aspects of the movie, because say what you will about the Transformers movie, they're very visually pretty and well put together. And while these are also on the list, also included is a for your consideration for Best Picture of the Year and Best Director for Michael Bay.
Sorry. I don't know. See, I feel bad. I don't know if I have any right to laugh, because I can say, Nerd and Tie listeners, that I kept my word. I haven't seen this movie. So
I have not seen the entire movie. I saw the first hour and left. Because I went to see the movie before it at the drive-in. It was part of a double feature. And I was just like, oh, I'll stick around. Oh, I saw Planet of the Apes.
Okay.
At the drive-in, and like Transformers was the next film in the double feature. And I was like, I'll stick around if it's good. And I left after an hour.
See, I almost want to take a Nick Gloatz break just out of not long. I remember when the trailer came out, everyone's like, "Oh, this is going to be awesome." Look what happened.
But,
who knew that Transformers would suffer without Shia LaBeouf? Who knew that a post-Shia LaBeouf Transformers would be the worst one?
Did you see how it should have ended? I actually did a video about that.
No, I didn't see their thing about it.
They had Megatron and Optimus hanging out, and Megatron's like, "Optimus, can I tell you a secret?" "Oh, okay." You can't laugh at me." "Oh, okay." "I miss Shia." "Don't you think things were better with Shia?" "Well, I don't think that was the main factor, no."
But,
yeah, I've been told things about the movie, like Mark Wahlberg tries to justify the Transformers getting eradicated by telling a relatable story about how he knocked up a girl in high school, and that makes Optimus Prime feel better for some reason. That's all I know, but
I've watched it on repeat where
I think I must have left at that point.
He takes a bottle of Bud Light or something, slams it against a car door, and then like chugs it and throws it on the ground. I don't know what it is. I've never seen the movie. It's just this GIF that I've seen, but it's like the most Mark Wahlberg thing I've ever seen in my life.
Well, the thing is, I usually like Mark Wahlberg. Like, usually I find him pretty entertaining. But the problem is it goes back to, it doesn't matter how much you like the actor. If the script is awful, the movie is awful.
It makes me sad, because one of my all-time favorite Decepticons, Lockdown, is apparently a major player in it, and I don't even want to know what they did to him. I just...
You know, I would be okay with it winning Best Picture if Grimlock went up and accepted the award. Not Grimlock from Age of Extinction, but 1980s Grimlock.
No, I was about to say, as long as it's 80s Grimlock, that would be
I'll
amazing.
save the universe!
Comics
Like you thank
Grimlock
Academy.
or cartoon Grimlock, because Comics Grimlock was smart.
Okay, no, I don't want Comics Grimlock, because the thing is, I love and respect Comics Grimlock. I want hilarious cartoon Grimlock.
Me Grimlock King! Me Grimlock
Grimlock King of Academy now. You give award. Then he'll put on an apron for no discernible reason because that happened.
But with this submission, it's pretty safe to say that somebody over at the Academy's day will be inconvenienced as they have to actually light something on fire and throw it in the trash.
Oh dear. Oh, it's just not good.
Who made a deal with Mark Wahlberg? Or I mean, with Michael Bay. Like, part of me thinks like, yeah, no, Michael, stick around for another movie. I promise we'll get you the Oscar. I promise.
Well, the funny thing is that, like, the Transformers films just keep getting worse in sequence. Like, every time they make a film, it's slightly worse than the one before it. So you don't notice a lot going from Transformers 3 to Age of Extinction that it's different. But if you compare it to, like, the first one in the series, like that 2007 movie, that you're like, oh my god, this is a masterpiece after watching Age of Extinction. Like, that's what happened, is Michael Bay accidentally made a decent movie back in 2007. And then he made an okay movie after that. And then he made a pretty bad movie after that. And now now he's just like taking a crap on some film and rubbing up against some computers, and that's Transformers 5.
It's gonna be incredible. But
Michael Bay takes
Nabe as the shockingly racist samurai robot.
Well, wasn't that Drift?
Oh my God.
Drift is a shockingly racist samurai robot in anything.
This is true, but
Drift is the most self-insert fan fiction. Everything I think is cool. Most 90s, even though it was created in the 2000s, Transformer ever.
Dear Raptory Jesus, please don't let Michael Bay touch Windblade, because she's perfect. Just don't. That book was awesome, by the way. If anyone needs a Transformers recommendation, Windblade. It was freaking awesome.
Oh, Windblade's supposed to be really good.
It was awesome. It was like political intrigue, but with Transformers. And Sarah Stone's art is perfect.
That I've seen. I've seen
literally
samples of the
perfect.
artwork. It's just gorgeous. It's, as a person who does, like, as a much inferior comic artist, her shit blows me away. Pardon my language. Her stuff is great. I'm massively always impressed with people who can do consistent mechanical design, because that is a skill a lot of artists don't have. And so
the best. Really, like, some of the best scenes are just like like, her art is amazing, and Marjorie Scott has this great understanding of the characters and the way they interact with each other. And with what he is doing right now, they've come up with a premise where you have characters from what are different generations in the cartoons all coexisting, and you have like Waspinator interacting with these more modern or one Autobots, and you have scenes like, Waspinator, I need you to talk. Don't hurt Waspinator! Why do you think I'm going to hurt you? Everyone hurts Waspinator! And it's just adorable. Just adorable. Can anyone even hear me?
We can hear you. I'm just drawing things on your face in the video.
I was taking in that amazing Waspinator impression, but this February,
I love Waspinator. Don't
be on the lookout for Michael Bay to never win an Oscar for Transformers.
I can't. I can't. That's the best. That, like, just knowing that.
What would his acceptance speech even be? I don't know.
I'm Michael Bay. Thank you for this. Oh, I'm sorry, I messed that up. Fuck it. Walk off. I'm sorry, that's what he did for Samsung, isn't it?
Yeah, it was, yeah.
I apologize for my language. Apple, please don't get mad at us. Flag our podcast.
Well, would it be...
That was Michael Bay talking, not me. I can't help what Michael Bay says.
I was expecting him to just come out and just be like the one of those Borat spoof videos. I'd like to tell the Academy and all film goers, thank you for the money, no refunds. Flips everyone off.
All right, so speaking of questionable director decisions,
Yes.
Oh boy.
we should move on to our next story. Now, one of my favorite things about the Star Trek franchise has been the amazing question of whether or not Robert Orci would be directing the third Abrams-verse Star Trek film. At first, the rumor was that he's directing it. And then, no, he's not directing it. That's not happening. And then, confirmed for director. Well, guess what? Not directing it anymore.
Oh.
Robert Orci is no longer the director of the third installment in the Abrams Star Trek films.
I guess he needs to get back to 9/11 truthing.
Oh.
Oh, God. So, like, he's still a co-writer on the script, and he's still listed as a producer. He's still going to be producing, but I don't know if he's actually producing or if he's producing, in air quotes, where he's really been fired, but he's contractually going to get paid. Like Dan Harmon on season 4 of Community. Or Tim Burton in Batman Forever, where he wasn't really producing anything, but his name was still attached. So, who knows what the heck is going on?
Well, I don't mind that Robert Orci's not involved in it anymore, honestly.
Well, he's still involved. He's still writing it.
Well, that he's not
with
directing
two other
it.
guys who have never written a feature
still
before.
A problem.
It's still a problem. But you guys, this has opened up something really great that has come out of this in the past week, and that Jonathan Frakes really wants in on directing this movie. Like, I'm getting such a neargasm just from reading things.
You know, Frakes would be good. Frakes would be good. He can direct a Star Trek film. I really want someone to call Nicholas Meyer and see what he's doing.
Oh my god, that would be amazing.
Because Nicholas Meyer directed my two favorite Star Trek films, 2 and 6.
Probably the two best ones.
They are hands down the best Star Trek big screen movies. I don't think there's any argument. I mean, the fact is the last film tried to ape him in a lot of its stuff and was far inferior to Nicholas Meyer's. Because Nicholas Meyer is not afraid to break the structure of the Hollywood blockbuster. He will have a quiet scene where you're not expected to, and he will make it work, where most directors can't. So, that's why I'm like, Nicholas Meyer. It won't happen, but I want it.
Yeah, he was. That's one of those dream things that would be amazing, and I wish would happen. But
who do you want to direct Star Trek 3?
Well, I would really like Jonathan Frakes to direct Star Trek 3, but I don't think it's going to happen.
Michael Bay.
Michael Bay. I think Edgar Wright would be a great choice to direct Star Trek 3.
You know, his name is in the running.
I know, and that's why I think he'd be great for it. I think he'd do it.
How weird would that movie be?
There'd be so much visual humor, I can't even wait. Like, the visual shots would be the weirdest, most bizarre thing for a Star Trek movie, and I don't think I'd care that they would be weird.
Star Trek 5 had pretty terrible visuals, so it wouldn't be the weirdest thing at the very least.
Well, I mean, not bad. They wouldn't be bad. It would just be really bizarre shots of close-ups of, a phaser being locked into a holster or something. It would be awesome. I would love it. It would be, the most out there, avant-garde... Well,
you know, here's the thing. It's a cast that could do an Edgar Wright. The guy who plays Chekhov's got a big comedy background. Obviously, Sulu, the current Sulu's got a big comedy background.
Quinto would be Quinto is super quirky and could do it. I mean,
we got Simon Pegg.
And Chris Pine's career is mostly a joke anyway. Oh, sorry.
Oh,
that was.
What's wrong?
Oh,
that was mean.
Where did Chris Pine touch you, Nick? What did Chris Pine do to you?
What didn't he do? Really, that's the question.
Chris Pine has done nothing wrong, as far as I can think of.
He was in the second Princess Diaries movie.
That's not his fault.
Yeah, it is.
Was he bad in it?
I've never seen it. I'm just looking at his IMDb right now.
You can't complain about an actor's performance in a film you've never seen. Unless it's Kickboxer 2.
Why Kickboxer 2? I don't...
That's a callback to an earlier episode. I'll let you go look it up.
I can't keep track of what we all talk about on this show.
I mean, sure, it was like a year ago, but, whatever. All right.
Yeah.
So Robert Orci is out on Star Trek 3-ish, as I prefer to call it. Star Trek 3-ish. Because we had Star Trek 3.
We did, and now it's...
okay.
I did read that they're in a little bit of trouble now because I guess the script isn't even done yet. They don't have a director. And they want to get this thing out in time for Star Trek's 50th anniversary, which is in 2 years. That's not going to happen.
They can get it done in 2 years.
If
they get the goddamn script finished.
Yeah, no, it's going to be a rough time.
Oh.
So, yeah. So Robert Orci out as the Star Trek 3 director.
It's
Bye,
fun
Rob.
and exciting.
Don't let the front door hit you on the back side.
Nick, we need good movie news.
All right. Well, then, I do have good movie news, as it so happens. Those good guys over at Toho, one of Japan's biggest movie studios, for longer than anyone on this show would be able to remember, and the owners of the Godzilla franchise have announced that, you know what, we're going to try our hands at another Godzilla movie.
Yay!
So,
Yay!
Shooting for 2 years from now, Toho wants to produce their own in-house Godzilla movie, which will not be related to the Gareth Edwards Godzilla 2014. A movie that they, and I'm quoting here, will not bow down to the Hollywood film. So,
I don't understand. Like, I know it wasn't a perfect Godzilla movie, but it had a pretty good reaction from Toho when they made it.
Yeah, it got a really good reaction from Japan too, but
yeah,
it was a pretty heavily Americanized Godzilla, and maybe they just want to take it back to its more Japanese roots.
I can see, cause
that's my guess.
I don't feel like it was necessarily an Okay, as a film, it was heavily Americanized. I don't think Godzilla himself was Americanized.
No.
And
the military being effective against Godzilla is pretty
right.
Americanized, though.
Was the military effective?
Well, they had to. They came up with with stuff like. Well, I mean, just the fact that the Mutos burped EMPs was a convenient excuse to not actually use military vehicles, so that way we didn't have to see the U.S. military fail in the face of Godzilla.
Right, but that doesn't mean the military would have succeeded at all. In fact, I think that the fight with the Mutos kind of proved that the American military had no shot against Godzilla.
Oh yeah, but I'm saying it was one of those things where they didn't have to address that directly in the film.
Right.
Because yeah, that just goes back to what some guys at Toho said when Godzilla '98 came out. It's Americans are afraid of seeing a movie where their military is useless.
Of course they are.
But
we're a bunch of sissies.
That would
America.
What? I don't go that far. I'm just quoting the Toho guys.
I'm not talking about the American military. I'm talking about the American people.
Maybe
afraid of failure.
I will say I'm kind of hoping that this would be a return to a more classic tokusatsu rubber suit Godzilla. That's just me personally. That's probably not what most people want. But
I just wish they were willing to coordinate the franchises, like to create a larger Godzilla universe. You know what I mean? Like
so, yeah, and I know exactly what you mean. It's just that Japanese businessmen, especially in media production, aren't good with that.
Well, it's so ego-driven. I think if the American Godzilla had been bad and poorly received and had done terribly in Japan, Toho would not be making another Godzilla movie. Because they were getting out of the Godzilla business anyways. And what the American film showed was that it's a viable franchise still there for them in Japan if made with larger production budgets. And so I think it's a mistake on Toho's part, but that's just me. You know, because Toho got out of the Godzilla business.
Well, I mean, they're still producing like science fiction movies and that sort of thing. I mean, they've always produced all sorts of movies.
But there's a difference between a science fiction movie and a kaiju film. Popcorn soccer ball. Eat it.
No, I don't. I'm still excited to see what Toho does. But yeah, it's a weird choice. It's definitely a weird choice. But then again, I'm just as nervous as as I am for Gareth Edwards' Round 2, if only because I'm afraid of Americans trying to make a Mothra movie. But that, especially in the bleak universe that is Godzilla 2014, I don't know how Mothra would work, and I fear for Mothra.
I think we're going to see some good stuff. Like, I'm excited for the giant monster fight movie that we're going to get in 2018. Should be a good time.
I'm just excited for Pacific Rim 2.
Who isn't excited for Pacific Rim 2? Actually, I can think of one or two people.
Those people don't have souls. Check them.
How do I... Well, I mean, my family were shoemakers, so I guess I could check, but...
The eyes are the gateway to the soul. Peer into their eyes and see the endless void where their soul should belong.
Hey, no eyes from Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. would take offense at that. He had no eyes.
It's true.
Okay, I'm not sure. I don't know if we have anything else much to say. Toho's doing another Godzilla.
I have no eyes.
Right on.
I must see. That's a complex reference, folks.
Wow. Harlan Ellison all up in here. Okay.
Oh.
Moving on. We have some convention news coming in here.
Oh, God, yes, we
Weird
do.
convention.
Weird convention news.
Yeah. So last weekend was the Midwest FurFest, big furry convention in Chicago. And at about in the middle of the night, convention goers started complaining about a strange smell and feeling nauseous. And around the 9th floor of the hotel, the Hyatt, and they had to evacuate the building because of high levels of chlorine gas. Chlorine gas is, of course, banned by the Geneva Convention after it was used in warfare in World War I. But, 19 people went to the hospital, and the entire hotel was evacuated. Thankfully, no one was seriously injured. There are reports of some people coughing up blood the next day from first-hand accounts. But, And what makes things worse is that police are declaring this is an intentional gas leak. That this was done by someone. When they found powdered chlorine on the stairwell outside the 9th floor of the hotel.
That's freaking horrifying.
Yeah, this is a terrorist attack. It's after a few hours, hotel attendees were allowed back into the building after they cleared the area and declared it safe. But this was only a few things could have gone wrong here. Either this was someone from outside the community who was trying to prank, or someone from inside of the community trying to attack or prank. I mean, this is the two things. I think they've got some suspects that they were looking at, but we really don't know more than that.
And it's a shame.
That's
like
their idea of a prank.
If it's somebody from outside the community, that's just disgusting in general. Because I mean, let's be honest here. Like I'm not a furry myself. I do have some friends that actually went to Midwest FurFest. Thankfully, they're okay.
Same here.
None of them are hurt. They're all fine. But like conventions are supposed to be a safe space for you to go and celebrate your fandom and your likes, your subculture, in a way that is away from the general, within the general population, but in a safe space where you can go and not have to worry about being out in the open or anything like that, and get to mingle with other people. So then to have somebody from the outside to come in and basically launch a terror attack, because that's what that is. I mean, releasing gas, that's a terrorist attack, let's be honest.
Yeah,
here.
absolutely.
Whoever did this is a terrorist and should be, if they are arrested, should be tried as a terrorist. That's, pardon my expression, that's fucked up. Like, conventions are supposed to be for fun, to celebrate your fandom, and have somebody do this, that is like incredibly just
Well, what's angered me even more is some of the news coverage and people making jokes about this. Like,
yeah, that's gross. This is the first time I wish that I've had a camera on, because just big middle finger right now to everyone joking about this.
yeah, no,
Screw off.
someone like posted some dumb pun to our coverage of it on nerdandtie.com, and I almost banned them if they had posted anything else. And Fur is friends with that person on Facebook.
yeah.
But it's like,
High school, we went to high school together.
what a piece of crap human being. It's like people went to the hospital. People's lives were in danger, and you're making fun of them because they like anthropomorphic animals. It's the news coverage has been ridiculously stupid about this. It's like one of the MSNBC hosts,
Joe Scarborough. Thank you very much. What a dick.
I think it was one of the co-hosts on his show. Like, started laughing about it. I mean, like, this is just like, people's lives are in danger and you're going to be a dick, because they happen to like something you think is weird yet is absolutely harmless. Like, I hate you people.
Wasn't there like an episode of CSI or something that just made furries look really bad, and ever since
it had
then,
Willie Garson in it too, which makes me so sad about Willie Garson. That's how vividly I remember that episode.
I just remember that episode and how made furries look, and I got older and I went into the real world and I've made friends who are furries, and they're people. So who the frack are we to judge? Like, we've all done the convention scenes. We've all three of us have done cosplay. To quote Strong Bad, "Hey, you, the guy acting like you're better than everyone else. You're here too."
Yeah, no, it's like, I am not a furry. They are not my people, but they are of my tribe.
Yes.
Yep.
So,
exactly.
Like, these are our fellow geeks. Okay, so the only thing that ever bothers me about furries is just that I can't, when someone's wearing like the few people who do the full fursuit, when they wear the heads, I can't see their face, and I always get nervous when I can't see people's faces. That's it, and that's just a personal thing. I don't like it when people wear Darth Vader helmets either. But no, there's absolutely nothing wrong with
Start wearing Clone Trooper helmet to every Nerd and Tie live show.
Well, but to everybody that was hospitalized at Midwest FurFest during that terror attack, get better soon. We got your back.
We're hoping okay. By now, we should know if they're going to be fine, and they should be fine. We haven't heard any reported, but that was seriously like. All
chlorine gas really does. It's not like a nerve agent. All it really does is it does affect the lungs pretty bad, and usually by this point it's out of the system. So,
So
good luck, guys. And to the person who did that, you can go fuck yourself.
Pretty much. We need to stop swearing. The explicit filter will pop on, and we will get in trouble with Stitcher. Stop.
Okay. Sorry. It angers me that happened. So
yeah.
With that, let's move on to other weird, dumb news, let's move on to actual like dumb, goofy news.
This is kind of good news, I'd argue.
I don't know, because I'm disappointed actually that this is a thing, that it happened. So a little while back we talked about DashCon happened back in July, and it was it's going to live on
convention ever.
It's going to live on in infamy with all the ball pit memes and $17,000 and everything else you could possibly imagine. But it sort of went away for a little bit. Everyone was like, "Oh, DashCon 2 is probably going to happen," because they had announced it. Well, they got rebranded as Emoti-Con, and
as an attempt to get out of their debtors.
Yes, and it seemed to have worked. Emoti-Con was going to happen. That is until earlier in the week when it was announced that Emoti-Con 2015 has been canceled.
Oh,
Yay!
Yeah.
Oh, oops.
okay. So there's like so much stuff here to unfold. Like the Emoti-Con people, as far as I can tell, are just awful human beings. The number of tumblers dedicated to like hatred of the con organizers, I don't know what can be confirmed. I know that some of the con organizers have said some pretty racist and awful stuff over the years, so I know I don't want to hang out with them. But yeah, no, it's they talked about like safety concerns as being one of the reasons they canceled the convention, but there's no one knows what they're talking about, really. And they've been coy and unresponsive. But the whole thing is like they shut down a lot of their responses and social media stuff like a month ago, like months ago. People weren't getting responses. They weren't monitoring their own forums. The writing's been on the wall for a while that this was not going to happen. So for it finally to get the axe, for it finally like to get killed is good, because these are people who would have taken people's money and run an awful event and scam people. But it's bad from our point of view because we wanted to go.
We were gonna go.
We were gonna go and watch the disaster. We were committed to being there.
We were gonna do live video footage from Ground Zero. I mean, like
because we have the
Yeah.
ability to do like live
true.
streaming over LTE, so we wouldn't need the hotel. Like I would have literally like had our live stream going whenever possible of a live feed from the event. Like,
but now we can't.
now we can't. Now that it's canceled, because it would have been only an hour from where I live,
And
I
I
could've
would have. I would have gone like the 7 hours of driving that it would have taken to get me. I would have picked Nick up along the way. I would have.
we would have gone and we would have had a hell of a good time because we just would have not given a crap.
That said, I have some friends who were staff at the first DashCon. Like they do like con security stuff, and they were so livid after what happened with DashCon.
Oh yeah,
I can't help but feel joy with them that this thing crashed and burned. Like
the whole thing was a mess.
I haven't seen them so happy about like a con failing ever, because that's like the opposite of what they do. Like,
well, I feel like my article on it was too sympathetic. Like, I honestly want to go back and retype that whole thing and be like, ha ha, y'all deserved it. I'm sad you're not happening because I wanted to laugh at you more. But instead, I went to try to take the high road of it's sad to see any first-year con fail. What was I thinking?
Bye-bye, Emoti-Con.
As far as I can tell, these are pretty awful human beings with the PR instincts of a dead sloth. They would have been so ripe for more and more awful things.
I'm sorry you didn't get to experience a new form of Schadenfreude, Trey.
Well, I want harmless, awful people to laugh at. That's all I'm left with are like jerks who did actual horrible things besides like run a terrible convention and say mean things online. Like those people who do actual horrible things aren't fun.
That's
not
true.
Fun. That's just horrible. This was a bunch of people who were super incompetent, malicious, but bad at it. So they just ranted at people online and ran a horrible event. Like, that's just hilarious. Like, I mean, yeah, it sucks to be the people they don't pay. Like, because Lord knows a lot of people they owe money to, even back from the DashCon, like, stuff, prior to this Emoti-Con corporation existing. But, like, come on. I wanted my Schadenfreude. My guilt-free Schadenfreude.
we would have all been sitting there, like, leaning back in recliners with, like, our mugs of whatever drink of choice and been like, bravo, carry on.
Yes! Failed to take care of the security situation. Yeah.
Well done, sirs. Well done. Yeah, they need...
Don't refund them, right? Yes. Oh, don't... like... Like with the first DashCon, there's people who ran panels who were told they'd get their badges reimbursed if they had a certain number of people attend. Like if it was like, I don't remember if it was 50 or 100, but like if they had a high count of the panel. And what happened was that they ran panels that had like numbers over the number, like over the minimum number that they had to have to get their badge reimbursed. And DashCon told them that they didn't, to which they pulled out video evidence which like of a camera that like scanned the crowd and like you could count like that they had twice the number of the minimum number of people there. And then DashCon like admitted finally that they hadn't actually done any room counts. So their policy was they were just going to lie to whoever tried to get their badge comped and claim that they didn't meet the number, but they weren't actually doing the door clickers. It's like so dishonest, but it's like hilariously dishonest. Like
impressive.
Beautiful.
You know, I'm used to having to report on
people.
people. Like, I mean, look at this. With the Midwest FurFest, we had to report on people who tried to gas con goers. There is a person who will remain nameless with rape allegations against them. More than one person. Like, when we talk about, like, stuff that happened at Emoti-Con, like, it's all serious. And it's like, oh, like, this is awful.
We can't have fun with this. But, like...
Right, but with DashCon and Emoti-Con, these guys were so... bad at it that they were bad at being malicious. Oh, I'm so I hope they try again. Please, Emoti-Con staff, create another one.
Do something. Anywhere.
Con. So Attacked Con. Do it.
We want to be there. We'll go.
We want to come.
We will promote this. Like
we will pay you money. We will promote your convention. Just do it, so you can do it so badly that I can write 5 more articles about it. Do it.
We will go. We will be there. We will live stream everything. It will be the best publicity you've ever gotten.
It won't be good. We're not going to say nice things, but it's still better than most of the publicity you get. Clap! Clap!
Oh, thank God. Wow.
Oh,
good
awful,
Lord.
Terrible people.
We should go to mailbag.
Oh, we should, shouldn't we?
We got a lot of mailbag to cover in this episode.
All right. Let's get started with going down the list. I think I've got the first one with Core Fans message.
Yeah, go for it.
Yep. So, to start off our mailbag section this episode, we go to Core Fan, who wrote, subject, Nick is static, which I believe refers to video watchers that Nick is this, a unmoving image, because he's on an iPad, which right now can't do group video messaging. So, Core Fan writes, of course Nick is static. He spent all that time in the Pikachu car.
It's true, I am paralyzed and I cannot move.
Yes. The secret is this isn't a still image. This is what he looks like right now.
I'm communicating psychically.
Well, he's just learned to he's a really good ventriloquist who's learned how to talk without moving his mouth, like his lips.
You need your mouth to talk.
Maybe you need your mouth to talk.
All I need is my mind, old type. Your soul's weighed down by Earth's gravity.
I mean, sure, Nick's got a completely different expression in the group shot because I used a different photo for that. But really, he just instantly switches between the two and clothes. Well, I mean, I think he's wearing the same shirt. Yeah, he's wearing the same shirt.
The sad thing is I'm moving less here than I do on my animated series. That's the sad thing.
I did think about looping an animated GIF of just your cartoon version with the mouth opening and closing on your one shot. Thought about it. Did.
Thank you for your letter, Core fan. Who do
Hopefully
we got next?
Skype will update the client for the iPad to support group video chat.
Hopefully.
Agreed.
Because it's the only way we get sound out of Nick, and good sound is more important than looking at our pasty-ass faces, especially
Hey!
Fur's. Look how pale Fur is.
Oh,
Yeah.
say.
Fur is
I got
super
nothing.
pale.
I am very white.
Kind of skim milk it.
Yeah. I've got terrible lighting in my apartment. What can I say? I've got porn lighting in my apartment, and that's about it.
Oh, yeah.
Not that I know.
Aw.
Anyways, who do we got next for our letters?
Well, I think Zach wrote something in Fur.
He sure did. Zach Fisher writes to us without a subject in his email. Come on, man. And he says,
dang
hello
it.
and
His
greetings.
subject was mailbag.
Oh, it is. It's just mailbag. I don't call that a subject. Zach Fisher writes, hello and greetings. So this is a bit out of left field, but have the three of you ever thought about making a movie? I know the distance might be a major factor, but I think you guys could make some good film. Sorry for the randomness here, Zach. I just got done saying that I do have porn lighting in my apartment.
Well, I do want to point out that Fur and I have made videos before.
We haven't. So Nick and I. So like the three of us just haven't been in a thing
Together, yeah, no.
Together, yeah.
I've done stuff with Fur. Fur's done stuff with Nick, but Nick and I've never worked together.
Yeah.
Because, yeah, like during the No Brand Con Apocalypse videos, you were behind the camera for some of our most important stuff.
I was, yeah, for most
And
of
then,
it.
yeah.
And you put the
and Fur did
camera where I told you.
narration in my kaiju movie, which is friggin' awesome.
Yeah, no. You know, I could do things, but it's so hard. Like, no, it's again, we're at different places, and so like the few times we actually do get together, we actually just want to like hang out and have fun, and not, like. And I used to do video production a lot more. Like I used to do weekly vlogs. I used to do short films. I used to do like lots of stuff. But since I've started writing my comics regularly, it kind of takes my time that I used to devote to that stuff.
And
that,
video
I'm not
production
a
is a
bum
lot of
college
work.
student anymore.
Yeah, that too. I mean, ever since I graduated from college, I haven't been able to do as much stuff for my YouTube channel. And even, like, I mean, going back to the kaiju movie, yeah, that's only like a maybe 3-minute video, but that took a lot of time to shoot. Like...
Well, and I'm trying to get the resources together to do another season of 3DO to go. Which will go on Nerd and Tie when it's done.
Oh, right on.
Well, because season 1 was sponsored by risingstuff.com, which no longer exists. Don't go to that URL. It's not owned by anyone reputable.
Sad day. That was one of my favorite
they
sites for
sponsored the
getting
first season by
stuff.
sending me games. Like, because it was an import, online import store owned by Vink and Peso that they used to do, where they would sell music and video games online. And so they sent me a bunch of 3DO stuff that I did. And so I just don't have time, though, to do more videos than I want to. And Vink has threatened to send me more 3DO games. So I have to now, whenever they show up. But, like, right now my YouTube channel is just Nerd and Tie stuff going up right now because we do all the video production live during the episode, where I'm doing live switching between shots, and that's it.
So we might make a movie together.
I would love to.
We'll film something together.
I would love to, but again, it's need to have the time, concept, script.
Yeah. All that good stuff, so.
People like my writing. If I find the motivation and time, I could make something.
Anyways. Nerd and Tie movie.
Night.
Nerd and Tie, the movie coming out in 2018.
I did dream last night that the three of us were at a convention where we ended up locked on the roof of a hotel trying to get into a fight with a bunch of war gamers. Like, a bunch of Warhammer 40k players challenged us to a fight. I seriously had that dream last night. I don't know where it came from.
There's our inspiration. Let's do it. That's our movie, 2018. It'll happen.
For
Moving
what
on.
it's worth, we could add it to DC's movie roster, and then I'll be just as convinced that it's happening until I hear the official cast list.
Well, or we could add it to Sony's movie roster, and it could already pretty much be canceled ahead of time.
Oh, zing.
That's a story that got cut from this episode.
Zing.
That's kind of still developing. We should, yeah.
We're watching that. Andrew Garfield might not be Spider-Man anymore.
Yeah.
Because he offended the president of Sony
Yup.
by
That
not
sucks.
showing up.
Anyways,
That was a bonus topic that you guys got.
moving on
songs.
moving on to our next letter because we got more to get through. Who's up next?
Random Ramblings Man's next.
Random Ramblings Man, I've got it pulled up right here. Random says, subject, sucker punches, trolling and nostalgia. Greetings, Nerd and Tie. The weather down in Massachusetts can't decide whether it wants to be winter or fall or even summer. Also, Trey, if I recall, you mentioned wanting to get your hands on a copy of X-Men Origins Wolverine. You can have mine if you wish.
No. I never said that. I said I've never seen it. I never want to see it. I said I've never seen it, not that I ever want to see it. Let's be clear.
Now on to the mailbag. It seems Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. is no longer content being concurrent with the events of the greater MCU. Talk about a hell of a mid-season finale, regardless, and can't wait to see Peggy Carter earn more metric points on the badassery scale in January.
Did you skip a line?
I think I did. Talk about a hell of a setup, for the 2019 Inhumans film, huh? That aside, I thought the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. had a hell of a mid-season finale. There's a lot of hellas, okay? Finale, regardless, and can't wait to see Peggy Carter earn more metric points on the badassery scale in January. I still agree. From an awesome thing to a hilarious thing, Paramount pushing to have Transformers Age of Extinction nominated for high-tier Oscars is hysterical. Yes, because we all laughed at that. Peter Cullen and Frank Welker are more deserving of Oscars than Michael fracking Bay.
I'm going to try to release the natural gas from inside.
Sure, the film will definitely be nominated for several technical Oscars. But if it gets nominated for or wins an award, I'm pretty will fall off. Yes.
His jaw.
Ending
his jaw.
on an awesome note.
Folks, we lost a little bit of the audio. The line was his jaw would fall off.
Oh, I'm
sorry. I know that it bleeped right on that word. Made it sound much more inappropriate, but it said his jaw would fall off.
I'm sorry. Random. I did not imply what the sound dropout made it sound like. I'm happy to see that, I think he meant to say Toho. He says Toei.
Ending on an awesome note.
Okay, yeah. Ending on an awesome note. I'm happy to see that, again, I think he said he means Toho, but he says Toei. We'll be producing another Godzilla film, hopefully with rubber-suited monsters. There we go. And Mark Hamill is returning as the Trickster in the new Flash series. And yes, I'm one of the 5 people who watched that show, Trey. I remember it. Because who doesn't love seeing Luke Skywalker play a bad guy? Well, that's all I've got for now. Hope you're all doing well, and as always, stay random.
Can I just say, I think the guys making the Flash TV series are just far more obsessed with the previous version of the Flash on TV than anyone else in the universe.
Yeah, no kidding. We have 3 cast members from that show return.
Okay,
3.
So besides Barry's dad, who played the Flash in the original one, and the Trickster, who else?
Dr. Tina something from Mercury Labs. I don't remember the name of the actress, but she was in the mid-season finale
I haven't seen that yet. I'm
playing the same character she played from the 90s show.
It's like they're making these nods and references to nobody. Because anybody who watched that original show, like maybe like Random Ramblings Man, I think is the only one left out of that demographic who might be watching the new show.
I know I saw a couple episodes. I definitely remember Albino Captain Cold. I remember that very clearly. It was terrible. But, yeah, that is really weird. I don't understand it.
Yeah, it's... I mean, I don't have a problem with it. Like, it's not resulted in anything bad. Like, Mark Hamill is great in as many roles as possible.
But it would be akin to Constantine trying to do as many throwbacks to the 1990 Swamp Thing show as possible.
Yes!
No one will
they should be doing
care.
in Constantine.
Come on!
That's
no,
how you
actually,
save the show.
No, I take that back. I want Mark Lindsay Chapman on Constantine so bad, you guys have no idea. Someone get Mark Lindsay Chapman on that show right now. I don't care what it takes. Get him on it.
It will take money.
Actually, everything needs more Mark Lindsay Chapman. How much money could it take? He hasn't been in anything for, like, other than Assassin's Creed. I can't think of anything he's been in.
Well, he's secretly living in a monastery at the top of a mountain, and so someone's going to have to go get to him.
Oh. It's going to be like that.
That's where he's living in my fanfic.
Oh, okay. Source, Trey's fanfic. That's going to be what we're going to cite from now on. We're just going to make crap up.
Well,
that's all I.
That's
all I got. What else do we?
Podcasts do.
What else?
Not
do we
everybody
have
can be serial.
But I don't want to goose our.
What?
I said not everybody can be serial.
Yeah, it's true.
It's a podcast.
It is. I've heard good things about it. I've heard good things about it.
Which is way classier than ours.
I don't know anything about this podcast.
It's produced by the guys who make This American Life. They're doing a podcast where they just follow one story for the whole season.
Oh,
they do like one massive in-depth story. It's really good.
That sounds interesting.
And way classier than ours.
Well, that's not all that hard to do. Let's be honest.
I argue that we're classier than Famicom Dojo. Shots fired, Sean.
Yeah, take that, Sean Orange.
And take that, Vink.
Too much. I actually kind of look up to you guys. Don't.
Let's see you come get me. Oh, wait. Vink is flying back to the United States in like a week.
Yeah,
he could come get me. Don't come get me, Vink. Don't hurt me.
We have another letter, I think, from... Let's see.
Yes.
Yeah, from one Mr. Chris Graham. Chris Graham writes, he's got a TV show recommendation. And he writes, Hi, I'm not sure if any of you have seen it, but I highly recommend the show Black Mirror, which was just added to Netflix recently after not being available in the US for a long time. It's kind of like a British Twilight Zone where all of the episodes involve near-future technology. Best science fiction drama I have seen in a while. Do you have any recommendations for stuff that might be somewhat under the radar but is really good? Oh.
1990 to 1993 is Swamp Thing the series. No, that's not a good show.
Track down both seasons of Better Off Ted.
Oh, Better Off Ted was great.
It was, and it was one of the most underrated shows when it was out. Check it only lasted 2 seasons, but it's phenomenal. Check it out.
Did it last a whole 2 seasons? I thought it was just one.
It was 1.5. It was kind of 1.5.
Because I watched every episode when it aired.
Yeah, no, it had 2 seasons, but it got canceled midway through the second. So,
I have no idea if you can still find it, if there is anywhere where you can find it. But Tim Minear, one of the underrated writers from Firefly, worked on this really cool show called Drive.
Oh yeah, where everything looks like Southern California.
Yeah, but it was Nathan Fillion was in it, and it was awesome. I do recommend it.
So was that Amy Acker in there also?
Yeah, I think she was. Yeah.
Yeah, I watched that.
Yeah,
It was good.
It was a really cool show, but then it got canceled because Fox doesn't want to run good shows, I guess, or didn't back then.
Yeah, Drive had some issues, but overall enjoyed it a lot. I was sad when it got canceled. God, what is Brimstone? Brimstone's a classic.
That was good, yeah.
Late 90s, early 2000s, ran 13 episodes. 113 demons escaped hell, and so Satan kind of sends this former cop who had also been in hell back to Earth to retrieve them. And so he wakes up every day in the outfit he was wearing when he died like 13 years earlier, with the same amount of money in his pocket and the same number of bullets in his gun. And he's got to go hunt down a demon every episode. And the John Glover plays the devil in that thing, and he's played it more like a prison warden, and it's really good.
That's interesting. Yeah.
Yeah, and it was on Friday nights on Fox. So that's kind of a great slot. Like, I can't think of anything that's currently on.
There's because every show seems to be pretty super well promoted.
Yeah, like Constantine. There,
but please watch Constantine. Damn it! Apparently, the mid-season finale had really good ratings, though. I'm happy to report.
I haven't watched it yet.
It's really stonking good, honestly.
Weekend. I'll watch it tomorrow. Yeah.
Yeah, it's worth your time. It's really good. I really like that show. I really do not want it to get canceled.
Ooh, another good one is the British series Utopia. It's getting remade for HBO, and it has nothing to do with that reality show that was on Fox.
I was going to say, that has nothing to do with that really awful $50 million experiment, does it?
Lord, no. No, it's a British series. It's got 2 seasons out. I don't know how to explain it. There's a comic book in the beginning of the first season that people are trying to hunt down, and people are like getting murdered over it, and so like kind of like follows this group of people who are on the same message board together, who kind of are trying to like not get killed off. And then it just goes from there to like government intrigue and like this massive conspiracy going back decades. It's so good. It is so good. It is so dark. And you find yourself questioning who the good guys are and who the bad guys are constantly. Oh, I like that. Utopia is good. And if we were in the UK, that wouldn't be like an unknown thing. But because I don't know if it's been aired here. American listeners might not be aware of it.
Yeah, I've heard good things about that show.
There's a good list of shows to check out.
Yes. So we should move on to our last segment.
Our buddy Archimize?
Yeah.
Yeah, because we still have the Archimize letter.
Oh God, we do.
Yeah, we had a lot of mail this week. Fortnight. I keep saying week. Anyway, this is from this one. I actually have a pretty good response prepared for. This is subject. 'Tis the season. Hey, nerds who are dressed in holiday ties.
I don't actually own a holiday tie.
What are you talking about? You're wearing a red tie. Oh, right. I can't lie about how we look because you guys have video.
I don't own a holiday tie. Like, I feel like I should remedy that.
Well, I'm wearing a red tie with white fur frill, just like Santa Claus. So
I mean, Nick, at least in your file photos, you're wearing ties.
There's a lot of. I have a lot of ties. What can I say? Anyway, sorry I didn't get my last question in on time, but here's one in a similar vein. Christmas is a pretty big holiday in Japan, and we can see that reflected in anime. Yes, we can. So my question for each of you is what your favorite Christmas episode or special is from an anime. Have a wonderful and happy holiday season, team.
All of Evangelion. It's the whole family's together in that one. It's adorable.
There are a lot of really good Christmas anime episodes.
Nick's just going to let that float right by.
We used to have a tradition. We used to have a tradition in the parts that I came from at the time, and that was to watch the Urusei Yatsura holiday episode every Christmas.
I haven't watched that.
That's how we would launch the Fmas party.
I have that. I have that DVD. I just haven't watched it yet.
We watched it on Laserdisc.
I'm jealous,
we were
actually.
Classy.
Animego Laserdiscs are the best, though. They legit are the best.
No, I don't know. I mean, I really liked. I mean, Sergeant Frog's done a couple.
Love Hina's Christmas episodes. Okay.
Yeah, the Sergeant Frog Christmases were really good.
Those are always fun.
I'm running
The-
out of
the
anime
manga-
I'm familiar with.
The Sergeant Frog Christmas manga issue was actually surprisingly somber for Sergeant Frog. Like, there is an issue that is literally, while everyone else is down in the Hinata household getting ready to give presents to each other and crap, Kararo spends the night on the roof of the house convincing the other invading frogs that Christmas is a bad night to invade and to try to put it off till some other time. And it's actually really kind of adorable.
Look, I don't know about
My
anime,
vote, though-
but the best Christmas movie is still Die Hard.
Yeah, obviously it's yes.
The Christmas episode of Big O is amazing because it features Roger Smith and his giant robot fighting an evil Christmas tree.
I really liked. I mean, like it's not anime, but I enjoyed the holiday episode of Clone High, where Mandy Moore is in it, and Gandhi and Abe Lincoln create a steam-powered combination knife and fork, and Joan just tries to sabotage everybody by putting like itching powder in things. It's great.
The Christmas episode of Justice League actually still makes me tear up during portions of it.
Yeah,
Like, Yeah, the scene of Martian Manhunter going out at night and just like looking at how Smallville reacts to Christmas, that actually makes me cry.
I like Batman Returns.
That is technically, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my, yeah.
I'm not like just pulling that out of left field.
I was about to say, I was trying to remember. I haven't watched Batman Returns in a really long time.
Yeah, no, actually, I watched that before I watched the 1989 Batman because I didn't watch the 1989 Batman until years later. But I watched Batman Returns. Okay, the funny thing is, so I watched Batman Returns in the theater when it came out. I was 13, I think. But earlier that day, the day I went and saw it, I had watched the episode of the Adam West Batman where the Penguin ran for mayor. And I watched that episode, and then I went and saw Batman Returns.
I remember that. That's such a great episode because it's like I'm always surrounded by cops. Batman's always surrounded by bad guys. Obviously, he's bad.
Yeah, no. So I watched Oswald Cobblepot run for mayor twice in one day. In two different
Amazing.
continuities.
That's freaking amazing. Oh, what was another good? There was another. Actually, you know, the Cardcaptor Sakura Christmas episode is really.
Cobblepot runs for mayor.
Actually, no. I want to see that happen because then I want to see him cutting someone's throat part of his campaign. Like he could do it. If there's any Gotham. Things don't need to make sense in that show. That's all I know for sure. They'll make it happen.
Nothing makes sense in Gotham. Like, why has the National Guard been called in? Like, a known felon mass murderer walks into the police station and all the police leave. Like, nobody's called the FBI? 0 people? Like, there's corrupt, but then there's, like, vacate a police station in the city the size of New York. Like, the cops being corrupt, like, fine. But it was that moment where, like, they emptied the police station. There's, like, records. Like, actual corrupt cops are smarter than that. Actual corrupt cops would only do that if Gordon was black.
Oh my Oh.
Wow.
The New York Police Department's racist. The NYPD is racist.
This is
Lots
true.
of other police are racist, but especially the NYPD.
No.
I'm never going to New York again. I
Yeah.
went there once, it was enough.
Can't argue that point, so.
So now should we move on to our final segment?
We should. This has been a long
we should
episode.
probably move on to our next segment.
It's a long episode that got
This is a
started
weird
late.
episode.
All right. Finally, now that our mailbag segment is completed, we move on to the Vomit Hat Steve Challenge.
Yeah.
The Vomit Hat Steve Challenge. Now, the Vomit Head Steve Challenge, for those who don't know, is where I, at the final segment of every episode, read a portion of a book. And if you can guess what book that is from, you get included in the Hall of Awesome. Now, there's not a lot of perks to being the Hall of Awesome. You just get one, and that's that you get included on the website. Well, two, technically. You get included on the website, and I read your name in the Vomit Hat Steve Challenge portion. The current members of the Hall of Awesome are as follows. Archimize, Zero, Rana Innocenti, Cheesy McDamn, Krista, Slithery D, Shameless Otaku, The Random Ramblings Man, Corfan, Capito, and Chris Graham. Those are the fine folks who have guessed the book. Now, for the last couple episodes, I've been reading sections of the same book. No one's even trying for this one, so I'm going to give one more shot for people to guess this book. We're going to read another sentence out of it. And again, if you can guess what this is from, write in. As I pull it up on my iPad, because I'm on video now, so I can't have the book in front of me. Like that one that David Capito got. We can open the curtains now, Juliana interrupted. We've all chosen our fabrics. Look at mine. If you could tell us what book's that from, go to nerdandtie.com, click on the contact form, and tell us the name of the author and the name of the book. And if you do so, you will be included in the Hall of Awesome. If you want to write to us about anything else, go to that same contact form. If you want to tell us how you think that fur looks really weird in that kind of blue light coming up from his screen, tell us about it.
Yeah, it's weird. I need better lighting in my apartment.
If you know where a buried treasure lies, so Nick's life isn't quite as unfortunate, tell us where it is. And we can get him new things that are
Yeah, my audio cut out for all of what you guys just said.
It's okay. We were mocking you. Anyways, we weren't, actually.
That's all we got for this fortnight, folks.
Please remember to rate us on Stitcher and iTunes, where you can also subscribe to our podcast in both of those locations.
All right, and as always, I'm Firsters.
I'm Trey Doran.
And I'm Nick Izumi.
Have a wonderful fortnight, and we'll see you for our Best of special in 2 weeks. Our Best of the Year special in 2 weeks.
Year review special.
Year review
don't confuse it with our Best of
Year
ever. Review special.
We'll see you in 2 weeks for our Year in Review special, folks. Have a wonderful fortnight, and happy holidays.
Keep on sparking in the free world.
Or don't.